So, I want to do this on wrist control and grips because lots of people make the common complaint, especially if you're in big gloves, but even if you're not and you just don't have the wrist mobility of a lot of the different sword techniques. So, one of them being the Zwerchhau requires your wrist to be in this position at the top end of it. And what can help a lot is the thumbs up grip. But notice something here. If I throw it like this and my wrist is not flexible enough to go all the way around, my point is dangling off in this direction over here. It's just never going to hit my opponent. And so lots of people will run into this issue where they're like, ah, and they feel like they're gonna sprain their wrist or something, trying to get it online. Now, my wrists are flexible enough to, yeah, just throw that. Okay. And sometimes people will get into this and go, wow, okay, you would need super flexible wrists. Notice two things. My hand is barely holding on to the pommel here at the end here. And we can see this in the drawings too. I'll step sideways so you can see this. I'm not trying to have a death grip on this because now it's putting a ton of strain on my bicep and shoulder to try and keep this online here. So your offhand, the hand that's holding the pommel, should really, I'm literally just barely holding it with one finger here as I'm throwing that Zwerchhau. And you should be able to tell that that does not reduce the amount of power that I can generate with it at all. Problem number two, say, all right, you've loosened your grip, you're holding it very loosely and you can still only get over to here. Or if you force it, you can get all the way online, but it's just putting a lot of strain here and you feel like you're gonna injure something. That's never good. Don't force your body. You need to break the mind-muscle connection here a little bit and focus on what your lower body is doing. And I'll break this down slowly and separate it into two movements, when in reality it should be one fluid movement. I throw it here, that's not connecting. Okay, I have two solutions. Look how much the blade moves. My hands are not moving, but the blade moves online just by opening my rear hip, closing my front hip. So without the weapon, it's going from this to this. I'm almost turning sideways. That way, even if my wrist mobility is only this much, I think most people can do this. Then it brings it online. Both of these techniques are going to involve usage of the lower body to make this happen. The other thing that we can do to bring this online in the event that we can't do it with our wrists is step. So instead of staying linear, staying straight in front of our opponent and just rotating our hips and our feet, we can step so that we bring ourselves off the line to our opponent. And this is probably the better one anyways, because that way, if we guess wrong and our opponent thrusts the moment we do this, we just take a thrust under, we hit them in the head and we get doubled, we can step offline, potentially avoid that thrust and hit them in the side of the head. Or even if we don't land the hit, we get chances at follow-up attacks. From the opposite side, it's the same thing, just with the other foot. Notice my knee is bending, widening my stance, and then this foot traces an arc back here, and I end up in the position that I started in here, just facing over here. So that's it. Use your footwork when you can't use your wrists, either because of your flexibility or because of the gloves you're wearing. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions on that. Thanks.